Happy Monday, beautiful people. Happy Monday. It is August the 7th, 2023, day 86 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets. Another 5-year consecutive day count. It is a 1,466. Today we're picking back up in chapter 30 in the Holy Megillah. This section is entitled The Holy God Spell. And we paused at verse 1027, which we're going to pick it up at 1028 on page 529. So, Father, we thank you for intuition. Yes. All right, beautiful people. I see who are here already. Nazarene the scene, grand rising, creator gang, family lamb, peace, love, light, strength. Y'all, take the hey, girl, hey, yes, you want time. Hey, sis. Creator's definitely undefeated. Avia, greetings. Mom, shalom. Yeah, I was hitting the button as soon as you was checking in. And everybody else here already hanging out in the background. Top of the day to you. So let's get started straight away here, y'all. All right. Page 529, verse 1028. And this section is entitled Mirat and Nahum, which means the light of the eyes. And it's a poem by the Magdalene with a talk by, Gawain Jaman. Verse 1028. Miriam spoke the poem Mirat and Nahum, the light of the eyes, at a party hosted by Alafim of the Deep Forest Meadows. Alafim of the Deep Forest Meadows is an order of Alafim that works and plays in friendly manner with select humans. Lo, that fellowship was founded by the Green Lady Isha in ancient Eden and is a mission of Alafim of the Tree of Life. Those Alafim who work and play with humans do not walk in human cities, for lo, they live in the deep forests of the world in harmony with the Tree of Life. Wherefore the few humans that work and play with them do so in the deep forests of the world. The invitation was given while Miriam and her 7 disciples were walking in an ancient forest of Old Eden. An Aleph named Gawain Jaman appeared unto them and spoke, saying, Behold, the mother come as daughter, and with her eyes are her 7 trusted disciples. And with her are her 7 trusted disciples. I greet all 8 of you. Gawain Jaman looked human, but a bit taller, with shinier skin, brighter eyes, gleaming aura, and ears that were somewhat elongated. His skin color was golden. His hair was long and white, not the white of aged human hair, rather the ivory white of eternal youth. He wore the green robe of that order. He wore the green robe of the order of Lady Isha. To the delight of Miriam and her 7, Gawain Jaman invited us to visit his home. For lo, he was this very afternoon to host a party that would feature music, dancing, and the reciting of poetry, along with good conversation amongst the brethren and sistren of Alafim of the Deep Forest Meadows. We followed Gawain Jaman to his home. His home was made of fallen wood and natural earthen bricks that blended harmoniously with its surroundings. Lo, Gawain Jaman's home could only be seen by friends of the Alafim due to magical enchantments made possible by the high level of life force in this ancient forest. For behold, Gawain Jaman explained that natural magic is most effective when conjured in places where the life force is powerful. Beautiful flowers and enchanted gardens surrounded his home. A bubbling spring gave forth translucent ripe water, and friendly goats and sheep converted the weeds and grass to manure. Several compost heaps and the plentiful goat manure ensured the future fertility of the gardens. The feeling of healthy, natural life permeated the vicinity of Gawain Jaman's home. Fallen branches were weaved together to form furniture and other works both utilitarian and aesthetically pleasing. Every kind of herb imaginable grew in the herb garden. Berries were abundant, as were berry fairies. Yea, fairies danced openly throughout the gardens and orchard that graced the green meadow within the ancient forest where Gawain Jamin lived. Lo, Gawain Jamin offered his guests berry wine made by fairies of old Eden. Miriam said to her disciples, behold, to abuse wine is not healthy and is not of the way. But the moderate use of home brewed wine is healthful, for it cleanses the blood vessels. Nevertheless, be warned, if you abuse wine, your dance will become a stumble and your health will be harmed. So let's go ahead and highlight that. I'm not a drinker. I remember one time I ever got drunk in my life. The one time that I ever got drunk, and it was in high school, and that was off of Mad Dog 2020. I said, this life is not for me. It is not for me. Since then, though, I have maybe like wine or something. And one time when we still had 2 kids, when my mom used to keep them for like 2 weeks during the summer, now we got like a whole tribe. And she's like, wait a minute, they leaving with you when you go? But she used to give us 2 weeks at a time. So me and James, this is when she was still living in Georgia. Me and James would drive to Georgia. We was looking forward to them summers, boy. All right, Mom, thanks. And then we would party like it was 1999. We stayed out late, out at the pool hall, shooting pool, going somewhere everywhere, doing some everything. I mean, all legal, But I'm just saying, we didn't have any children. We didn't have to worry about them. We knew that they were in amazing care. So, but them days have long passed. She like, wait a minute, y'all got like a whole school. I'm not certified to be a teacher. Mom just playing. Just me. Shalom, shalom. Prince, what's going on, fam? Love y'all. Love is all I got for y'all. Bless up, gods and goddesses. Gang, gang. Facebook users, shalom, shalom. Doing the social media break, so I'm watching from Audrey. You took it. Okay, sis. Hey. You took the break. Isn't it it's so freeing not to be attached to our social media, right? Because I'm still taking a break. Look, of course I did pop on yesterday to see if my sisters posted anything from the weekend. Sparse pictures. We celebrated my sister's birthday. Oh boy, was that fun. Look, I told him, I said, look, it started like this and it ended like this. It was great to the end of the day. That's all I'm gonna say. We said we ain't saying nothing. You making your own wine, Tikva? What kind? How you making it? Tell us the process. Okay, y'all. Let's get back to this. Let me just go back to verse 1053. We're on page 530 in the Holy God Spell, which is a part of it's the third section of the Holy Megillah, also called the Secret Nazarite Scroll. But verse 1053, lo, Gawain Jamin offered his guests berry wine made by fairies of old Eden. Miriam said to her disciples, behold, to abuse wine is not healthy and is not of the way, but the moderate use of home brewed wine is healthful, for it cleanses the blood vessels. Nevertheless, be warned, if you abuse the wine, your dance will become a stumble and your health will be harmed. Truly, those who cannot discipline their desire to excessively drink wine should not drink at all. Just break out your other highlighter and just highlight that a different color, because that's a very important point. Both of those verses are really good. Like, if you ain't gonna be able to control it, if you have a very aggressive type behavior about you, when you just got to see things through to the end, drinking might not be for you. You don't want to go to the end of that road. You don't. You really don't. Okay, I'll read it one more time just in case somebody just popped in and was contemplating it. Nevertheless, be warned, if you abuse the wine, your dance will become a stumble and your health will be harmed. Truly, those who cannot discipline their desire to excessively drink wine should not drink at all. That said, know this. Nobody Okay. That said, know this. Nobody brews finer berry wine than the fairies of old Eden. The disciples accepted 1 cup each of wine, finding it delightful and plenty. None asked for a second cup. I mean, I bet after she done just gave this whole, let me give my little disclaimer for the party gets started before they start passing out the wine. Everybody was sipping slow, bro. I only got a little bit left. Yes, I'm done. No, I'm fine. Thank you. One is plenty. Also attending the party were a dozen or so Alafin, 3 human members of Green Wizards of the White Rose, numerous fairies of various sorts, and 3 unicorns. 2 of those wizards were elderly men with long white beards who were visiting from the Mother Temple in Alexandria. Both were drummers. You hear that, Prince? They were drummers. Oh, wait, hold on. No, I'm thinking about the guy who was sitting beside you playing the drums when we watched you at church. You the good top man. You on them strings. Y'all ain't never heard him play. Y'all gotta listen to him play. Verse 1062. Both were drummers. The third wizard was an elderly woman with long silver hair who lived in a hut not far from the meadow of Garwin Jarman. She played a flute. The unicorns wore chimes on their tails, which they shook to make celestial sounds. The fairies sang harmonies that sounded like living wind, flowing waters, and ripening berries. Gawain Jarman and the other Alafim played harps, flutes, string instruments, and drums. The Alafim also sang and recited poems, as did the 3 wizards. Behold, Gawain Jarman asked Miriam to play her harp and sing. After playing several fast dance songs, Miriam plucked the harp slowly and spoke the poem called Myriad and Naim, which means the light of the eyes. The words were as follows. The light of the eyes is the true proof of status. The light of the eyes means more than any title. The light of the eyes reveals the unsaid. The light of the eyes transcends the said. The light of the eyes of the holy Alafim, that is the light of which I speak. Transcendental light of heaven within, transcendental light shining out from within. Transcendental light of the never fallen, transcendental light of the Madhibah born. The light of the eyes of the holy Alafim speak of garden worlds by human eyes unseen. The light of the eyes of the holy Alafim sings of heavenly honey from the bees of El Kush. The light of the eyes of the holy Alafim sings of the tree of life, sings of first Eden, sings of worlds long gone, the worlds yet to be, sings of garden parties and friends by the fire, sings of joy in the now and sweet memories past. The light of the eyes of the holy Alafim serves now the tree of life in every garden world, even in this contested world. A human blessed to taste the honey of El Kush and the light of the eyes of the holy Alafim, as we have been blessed, my 7 and I, on this very day, need ask no other blessing. For behold, all blessings will follow, each in its appointed time, as long as we serve the light of the eyes in the friendship of the holy fellowship, the fellowship of the Alafim of deep forest meadows, faithful helpers of Jah and Elohim in Yah, now and forever. Amen. Chant it up. Lo, after Miriam recited her poem, Gawain Jarman and the other Alafim of the fellowship bowed unto her, as did the green wizards and the creatures of old Eden. Her 7 disciples, in affirmation of the truth of her poem, said as one, Amen. Then Gawain Jarman asked the 7 disciples of Miriam to each select an instrument to play. We each chose an instrument and played beyond our previous ability, so high and joyful we felt. Lo, at the end of the night, after we danced to drums around a fire, Miriam told this story about Gautama, the Buddha. Miriam said, "You know that I lived in India for 7 years. There I heard the following story about Gautama, the Buddha." What I say, Gautama? Gautama. I'm one, listen, hold on. It sounds it sounds real close to Gautama, like in a waspy, right? There I heard the following story about Gautama. It's Gotama in here. Gautama the Buddha. Gautama the Buddha sat in an orchard with his disciples. The disciples were playing music and dancing and laughing. Lo, a man came to visit Gautama to question him about the spiritual life. And just remember, just in case you forgot or you knew, Gautama is actually another name for the Americas, North Gautama, South Gautama, which is South America, and I always forget what Central America is called. You would think it would be Central America, but it's not. I actually got it highlighted and I wrote it up at the top in a page of a WASP where it said, because I always forget what they call Central America when they were still calling it Gautama. Okay. I just go back to 1091. Gautama, the Buddha, sat in an orchard with his disciples. The disciples were playing music and dancing and laughing. Lo, a man came to visit Gautama to question him about the spiritual life. When the man saw the disciples playing and laughing, he was disappointed. For behold, he had expected to see them fasting or meditating or discoursing on spiritual matters, not playing and laughing. That's my crowd. Like, we can't be serious all the time. Like, how are we going to let all this serious information assimilate through our shana now? We need a time of rest and relaxation, right? Let's just relax. Hold on. I like this story already. When the man saw the disciples playing and laughing, he was disappointed. For behold, he had expected to see them fasting or meditating or discoursing on spiritual matters, not playing and laughing. The man said to Gautama, "Why do you permit your disciples to make music and dance and tell jokes?" Oh, yep, that's my crowd. I'm telling jokes all day. Look, look, at dinner time now, we got this we started playing games while we eating dinner. Well, at least on Sundays, right? Because all the kids is here and we eat dinner. We're trying to start our family dinner trend back, but doing it on Sundays. But we sit lately we've been doing this game, worst case scenario. It's crazy. So we either tell jokes or something, tell funny stories, or we'll play this game where I'm gonna show y'all. It's called the worst case scenario game, right? And if you never heard of it, just to like to give you a quick it's a whole little game with spinning things and coins, and you got to keep points. So it's teaching you to think, and I thought it was a good game to play with the kids because we want to see where their mind is at when it comes to things where they got to think on their feet. What would they do, right? So like one of them would be, so it's two. It's like you pick the thing that's bad or the thing that's even worse. Derek, shalom, shalom. Tabitha, hey girl, hey. Stephen, what's going on, fam? Peace and blessings. All right, so like I give you one of them. Here's one. I don't remember where the card is at. So one is, and it just kind of made my heart smile the way they all answered this. One of them was, would you rather forget who people are, or like would you rather forget who your family is, or would you rather forget who you are, right? And we thought, because me and James, we did that one first, we was like, wow, that's kind of deep when you think about it. And we just kind of like just had a conversation about it. So it was like, we're gonna ask the kids this one when we doing our at dinner tonight. And so we asked them, and they all had that same look in their eyes that we had when we was talking about. We actually talked about this when we was in the car. They got that same look, like they like, man. Then Saya, my 10-year-old, He said, I would rather forget who I am. And before I asked everybody why, Isaiah was like, hey, son. Love you. Isaiah was like, Isaiah just turned 9. He said, forget who I am or forget who y'all are. He said, I know, look, Jeremiah, the same thing. He said, I'd rather forget who I am. Josh said, definitely. I'd much rather forget who I am. And then we asked everybody why. It was like, well, why? Why did you choose that one? And everybody said, because y'all can show us pictures, y'all can remind us, show us all the fun times, and y'all can help me remember. And then I brought tears to my eyes. I'm like, yeah, and all of them thought that way. I would hope everybody would think that way. Some people's like, man, forget who everybody else is. I'm a one-man band here on this earth. Some people feel that way. But that was like more one of the more getting down into the recesses of the heart one. Because after everybody gave their answer and why, which everybody pretty much had the same answer, we just talked about it a little bit more in family and stuff. So of course, no electronics is allowed. Don't even bring them just leave them upstairs. Go put them on a charger. Ain't no TV, because sometimes we put on the TV and they put on the movie. No, we're talking to each other. So we re-implemented that. But some of the more crazier ones, that could be like a worst case scenario, right? Hopefully nobody ever have to go through that. But some of these other ones, that was on the lighter side. So listen, one of them, let me see. Hold on. Okay. Would you rather have your parachute fail to open after you jump from the plane, or wake up to the aftermath of a nuclear war? And it's like, what? Why do you have to choose between the two? Because it's worst case scenario. You pick one or the other, either the bad or the worst. Which one you gonna go with? Let me give you another one. Stuck on a deserted island, or identity is stolen. Some of them are like on the less harsher side, and then the other one is like completely crazy, like the one we came upon and said, would you rather be on the beach on vacation and you see a tsunami coming at you, or would you rather be at the bottom of a erupting volcano? Elijah was my 27-year-old. He said, maybe I can outrun the fire or the lava. He said, but it's gonna burn me up. I said, you know what? I might take my chances with the tsunami, because they said, what? The water drown? He said, I don't know that I can drown. He said, just waiting to die, doing all that. He said, if I couldn't run away from the lava, I'm just gonna fall in and scream, because it's gonna be like that. He said, but the drowning, it's gonna take too long to die. I ain't got time for that. And so it was hilarious. Dinner has been quite amazing the last couple weeks while we started. We got a bunch of different ones like this. We just kind of going through all of them while we sit and eat. But it's super fun and engaging, especially with the kids, and listening to some of their answers and why they choose what they would choose. But anyway, yeah, so do family dinners, y'all. Look, I forgot my spot. I don't even know why I said that. Hold on. Oh, the telling of the jokes. Okay. Yeah, this is why. This is why I started telling y'all that. Hold on. All right, let me just go back. Okay. I'm going to go back to verse 1094. On page 532. When the man saw the disciples playing and laughing, he was disappointed. For behold, he had expected to see them fasting or meditating or discoursing on spiritual matters, not playing and laughing. The man said to Gautama, why do you permit your disciples to make music and dance and tell jokes? Such things seem far from the spiritual life. Gautama, pointing to one of the disciples playing music, asked the visitor, are you familiar with the string instrument this young man is playing? The visitor replied that he was familiar with the string instrument. Gautama said, if you loosen the strings of that instrument too much, will you get a sweet sound? The man replied, no, if too loose, the strings are lazy and make no pleasant sound. Gautama nodded his agreement and asked the man another question. If the strings are too tight on the instrument, what will happen? The man replied, if the strings are too tight, they will break. Gautama said, similar to this instrument are disciples and the spiritual life. Okay, see, I knew I liked you, Gautama. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, we won't take ourselves too seriously over here. I mean, we do, but we don't. The man replied, if the strings are too tight, they will break. Gautama said, similar to this instrument are disciples and the spiritual life. If they are too serious and ascetic, they are like strings wound too tight and will break under the stress or make a sour, unpleasant sound. And if they are too loose, without enough discipline and effort, they are like the loose string, lazy and unhelpful. That was good. That's so good. For lo, hold on, I skipped the whole verse. Let me just read 1106 again. If they are too loose, without enough discipline and effort, they're like the loose string, lazy and unhelpful. I teach the middle path to my disciples. For lo, if the strings are neither too tight nor too loose, the instrument or the disciple will make harmonious music. After the story by Miriam, Gawain Jaman spoke. Gawain Jaman looked deeply into the eyes of each being around the fire, then said, indeed, the eyes are the windows to the soul, and I see great beauty in the eyes of the assembled friends around this fire. Each of you has a great light in your eyes, for behold, you have fanned the flame of the spark within you. That flame is fanned by your thoughts, words, and deeds. I bow to the quality of your walk as revealed in your eyes. That is, I gotta highlight that a different color. That's so good. Verse 11:15. Gawain Jaman bowed deeply to the beings gathered around the fire. Again he spoke, saying, dearly beloved brethren and sisterin, it is not without reason that the Alafim on this world are found in the ancient forest. For lo, with the exception of brief visits, we cannot live where the natural life force is depleted beyond a certain level. Like the Nazarenes at the time of the fall of the first garden, Alafim take on a denser body in order to remain in this world. Nevertheless, we are by nature naturalists, and even in this world, our bodies are purer than humans, more translucent. Our translucent our translucence in physical form is linked to the environment in which we live. In intermediate heavens, we are breatharians, our physical bodies being more etheric and fed by the food and air, which is not without substance. In the higher heavens, that's good. In the higher heavens, we are sustained entirely by the fruit of love. But earth, originally birthed as the first heaven in a chain of seven, has fallen out of the hierarchy of heavenly worlds and is now a contested world. We learned about this in Owaspy a little bit too. I mean, well, a lot. They use a little bit different words, but it's talking about the same thing. Okay, hold on. In higher heavens, we are sustained entirely. Even this, the breatharian, the being sustained by the fruit of love, the air, all of this is throughout Owaspy, right? And the different levels and those, and it gives the relation of those here still eating physically with our mouths, those who just passed, who were still living a meat-based diet. When they go, they have to subsist off of the, I would say, the fumes or the aromas of the cooked meats and stuff. But those who have transitioned into a plant-based, more holistic lifestyle, they don't have to worry about that, and they can climb higher because we don't need dead flesh to sustain us, right? And that's what animal meat is dead flesh. And until they grow a little bit more spiritually, once they pass on from here, then it's only then that they're able to break away from the earth and rise higher, because they no longer need to be sustained by the aroma of cooking meats and stuff, because that only happens here. And it should have never happened, but in the process of time and the downfall of man and the eating of flesh and blood, all of these things, right? Owaski goes in deep detail about that. It's amazing the education you get on that alone. I recommend you get it. If you don't have it, it's on Amazon, $30. Go get it. Okay. We call it Big Blue. So when y'all hear say Big Blue, that's what we talk about, Owaski. Okay. Let me just go back. Let me go back to 1120. Where we at? Okay. Our translucence in physical form is linked to the environment in which we live, just like how our flesh is linked to this environment, how we eat, feed, and nurture ourselves. Our translucence in physical form is linked to the environment in which we live. In intermediate heavens, we are breatharians, our physical bodies being more etheric and fed by the food and air, which is not without substance. In the higher heavens, we are sustained entirely by the fruit of love. But earth, originally birthed as the first heaven in a chain of 7, has fallen out of the hierarchy of heavenly worlds and is now a contested world. Lo, Alafim in this world remained as translucent as possible in this dense atmosphere. To do that, we live in the garden. Preserves of this world where sufficient life force exists for us to remain somewhat translucent. That way, we are a direct and living link to that translucence. Wherefore, that embodied translucence is not entirely lost in this world and can be fanned like a flame and spread so that this world is again the first heaven that it was created to be, the Garden of Eden of this chain of 7 heavens. On this world, I have to highlight that. 1126 to 1127. Okay, 1128. On this world, the Alafim live in the manner that is appropriate for a first heaven of a chain of 7. We garden and make music, drink an occasional cup of berry wine, work and play in moderation. We eat food but remain vegetarian. We fellowship, write poems, compose songs, dance, and make love. We reach out to the world around us in compassion to raise the fallen world to its intended glory. In all things, we serve Jah and Elohim in Yah. We are the Nazarenes of the first mother temple of the mother ovum, Madhiba, the highest heaven of the mother ovum. We serve the tree of life in every heaven and serve in contested worlds as long as possible. Behold, at a certain point in the death process of a world, the Alafim can stay no longer in embodiment, though in other ways we minister even in the hell realms uninhabitable by embodied Alafim. Even now, the gardens where we may walk embodied in this world have become small islands of translucence amidst death and destruction. Even while we live in the garden spots of this world, we reach out with 2 arms to the fallen world that surrounds us. We invite the 7 disciples of Miriam to formally enter the circle of friends of the Alafim, of which Miriam is a founder. With great appreciation, the 7 accepted initiation into the sacred fellowship of friends of the Alafim. 708. It's one more little part left, but it's like 6 pages. So I think we're just gonna pause and we're gonna finish this up. We'll actually finish this entire chapter 30, Wednesday when we come back. So remember, we won't be here tomorrow, right? I know we just came back off the weekend, but when the Sabbath falls in the middle of the week somewhere, beginning of the end of the middle, we're just gonna have a short week, right? So we won't be here tomorrow. So, but I need to finish on time this morning. So it's already 7:09. So we're about to go ahead and wrap this up. Oh, okay. All right, beautiful people. Thank y'all for hanging out. So let me put my mark. 40, page 533. All right, y'all. So it is Monday. Happy Monday. It is August the 7th, 2023, day 86 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets. Remember, we started just reading the books of laws and prophets from the Bible, but we've expanded our understanding. We've grown spiritually over time. We've incorporated other books to fill out the stories that we read in the Bible and in the Apocrypha, some of the missing books, some of the books they call the pseudepigrapha, all of these things, insights from the current generation, expounding on some of these spiritual things that we're learning, testing, giving our results, our crazy stories, how we did or didn't work for us. So it's a growth process, and it's been pretty amazing. And that's why we changed it. And as we grew, I changed it from the books of laws and prophets to books, laws, and prophets, because now we're not just reading one book. We've graduated from that. And now we're reading many books and different angles and points of views from the different religions. And we've learned that each religious faction has a bit of the truth in it, and it's scattered all over the world. So we're putting everything on the table. We're going through what we can. Some things we're just not going to go through at all, be it being either it's whether it's an offshoot of the Bible, another religion, all these things, same characters, different characters, whatever. We just kind of choosing based on what we understand and the foundation that we have. Some things are really not needful to read at this point, especially if it falls into the category of something that we've already read, and we could just kind of pull some points from it, right? So, but we're not attaching ourselves to any type of religion, any one particular mode of thinking, except for walking in true holiness, true peace and love and light and life of our great creator. Some of us still call him Yah. I still refer to him as the most holy, right? We all have our different names depending on what part of the world we're in, where we at, how we understand. But we're talking about the great creator, the creator of all. Some still, on lesser levels of understanding, refer to him as God. We have grown way past that. We understand God is like a title, like the president of the United States or a prime minister of a country or whatever. God is simply a title of the one who is in charge of the seven heavens, earth, and the heavens and the hells below it, right? And that changes over, I would say, generations, but it's multiple generations stringed together. So I would say dispensations, times, and eras. But the gods do change, and the gods could be male or they could be female, right? Because who are the gods? They're nothing more than what we shall be in the days to come. As we continue to grow, we're going to pass out of this realm and be fully born into what we truly are, which is a spirit. We're just living really this in this realm, the human experience with this flesh. And the biggest lesson for us to learn while we're here is to learn about the elements and how to master them. And one of the greatest gifts we were given by our creator when he sent us into this particular phase of life was the fleshly bodies, because we are spirits. We're fully spirit. We have been fully born spirit. But in this realm, we have a science project, which is our flesh. We have to learn how to manipulate it, understand it, cause it. You got to get it in line with your spirit. A lot of time, the cart is leading the horse, right? Or your flesh is leading your spirit. But as you grow spiritually, you get some disciplines, your spirit should take charge. And now the horse goes before the cart. You do what I say, right? And it's gonna give you some trouble for a very long time, maybe. But once you get them disciplines down and your consistency down, the body is just going to fall in line. Right now, sometimes we got our bodies are like an unruly child or a dog that refuses to be on a leash. Get your dog on a leash, people. Get your dog on a leash, right? So, but it's definitely an enjoyable, amazing process. It takes time, it takes understanding, it takes patience with yourself and your own soul. Work out your own soul salvation, but with patience, and be forgiving of yourself, because we're gonna make mistakes along the way, right? But learn to enjoy the moment and learn to laugh at yourself. I found that that's the best way to grow. Don't take it so seriously. You're gonna make mistakes. Just when you make a mistake, don't let your ego get in the way. That's the flesh, the cart going before the horse, right? Can't really lead you nowhere. Horse, yeah, you're backwards or you're upside down. Just realign everything. If you messed up, acknowledge it, right? If you wrong somebody, go back and apologize. Ain't nothing gonna be hurt, bruised, but your ego, right? But it's not really gonna hurt you. It's the illusion that you're gonna be hurt, or your pride that gets in the way. But it's really not. It's actually gonna break you through to that next level of growth when you're able to do that, right? And laugh at your mistakes, look at them, and pull out the lessons and move on. Use them as stepping stones in your growth process, right? We should be rising higher and higher every day and helping those that's coming behind us with the light that shines from us, right? Blaze a trail for those following behind you. All right, beautiful people, that's it for today. I love y'all. We can see the Shalom community in the Megillah society. You can, if you look at it, right? The Nazarenes, and they I ain't gonna say they got down to a T, but it's pretty dope. You can definitely see that principle of Shalom throughout whole Megillah and the Nazarene, the Nazarite groups of people here. Shalom, easy on Facebook this morning, trying to finish my shift. All right, sis. Zachary Yahoo, shalom, shalom. All right, y'all. That's it. Oh, Mom, you said it sounds like fun. The game, yes. Y'all got to get one. They even have they don't call it this. They even have like some app versions of this. Like I said, they don't call it this, but it's like either or. Would you do this or you do this? Or y'all ever heard of like table topics? We got table topics and everything. It's like conversation starters. You know how sometimes you sit with somebody and it's like this awkward silence, everybody looking around, but you don't want to touch your phone because we said no phones, right? So it's okay to get table topics or conversation starters. You know, shucks, they should put these out at restaurants, especially when people going out to hang out with friends. No phones, put them in your purse, in your pocket, put it on your hip, don't pick it up, don't put it on the table. How disrespectful is that to go out with somebody and sit your phone right on the table? Like, listen, if I get bored with you, I'm letting you know that's right here, and I'm gonna go off into my other world. Learn how to spark conversation to keep the conversation going. If you don't know how to do it, just ask the other person something about themselves. People love to talk about themselves. And if you actually ask people questions and get them talking about themselves, they will think you are the greatest conversationalist ever to live, right? Because they got a chance to talk. You ask them questions, you seem engaged. I mean, don't ask them nothing crazy. Like, I mean, unless it's appropriate for that situation and what's being talked about. But get people talking, ask them questions about themselves. It might start, so how the family doing? You know, do you like your job? Oh, what got you into that line of work? You know, and you'll realize by asking other people questions, it'll keep a conversation going throughout dinner for the entire night, even afterwards when y'all walking out, still having a conversation. Learn how to ask questions. That's it, y'all. That's something I learned. Because I used to be a real introvert. I'm like, well, what I'm supposed to say? I don't know what to say to them. What I'm supposed to talk about? Focus on them, right? You seem so unselfish. I'm like, man, you really listen. I just got a list of questions that I had to write down on my hand. Okay, ask me this. Yeah, so what about, did you like that? Really? Man, that's amazing. Or work on your facial responses. You ain't gotta fake it, because once they get into their story and talking about it, you know, you would just be caught up in it. But anyway, yeah. Elisa Edwards, shalom, shalom, sis. We have a game called Uno. It's funny, like that game you have. Is it like the Uno we got? You ever played what is it called? I was about to call it Player 10, not Player 10. Thinking about high school. My friend's car, that's what he named his car. Phase 10. Phase 10. But yeah, we got Uno. We got a couple, they got a couple different versions of Uno. We got the regular Uno, and it's another version of Uno that they got up there. We got all kind of board games and stuff. So, but all right, y'all, that's it. I gotta go. I love y'all. I'll see y'all back here Wednesday, bright and early, 6:15 ish. We'll probably be here at 6:15 Wednesday, right? 6:15. Bright and early. I'll see y'all. Love y'all. Enjoy y'all day away from me. Have fun. Learn how to ask people questions and be interested, genuinely interested in them, right? Sometimes people just need to vent, get stuff out, you know, and a smile and a little bit of compassion really goes a long way, right? Because some people might be on their last leg, but they're able to put on a really good show, right? You could really, really make a difference by being genuinely interested in other people. And don't be trying to bash them over the head with religion and stuff. Don't go Bible thumping. Don't nobody want that. Don't nobody like that. I know y'all don't do it, but just in case we got some new people in, just, you know, take it easy. I love y'all. See y'all back here Wednesday. Peace.
But I see through you.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gold. I've been far away. I'm illuminated now.
What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea. With a little honey.
What just happened?
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know. Open your eye.
Been dreaming about dying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a cold sign.
What's happening? This isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, this is...
Dreaming about dying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a cold sign.
His heart rate is getting dangerously high.
He looks all right to me. You think that this particular universe is all there is?
I don't need gravity, I need
What mysteries lie beyond the reach of your senses? Existence, mind and matter meet. Thoughts shape reality.
I don't need gravity, I just need gold. I'm a fine line, I'm a mislead of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Some benevolent and life-giving, filled with malice and hunger. Dark places where powers older than time and waiting.
I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Who are you in this vast multiverse?
I don't need gravity, I just need I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Teach me.
No.
It's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.